or welcome if it's your first time, guys. I'm so glad that you're here. So today I'm gonna kind of walk you through how I get this messy kind of short-haired curly look. I use a couple of products. I'm going to talk you through what I used to use as far as curling wands go and what I'm currently using, and maybe some tips and tricks that I've learned along the way about placing curls and how I get the volume that goes with it. My battery dies in the middle of this one, so just a heads up, and I probably could have shot this a little bit more closely than I did, but here we are. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. And if you aren't already subscribed to this channel, make sure you click that button and come back and hang out for another day of Everyday May. So let's get in. Okay, so let's kind of talk through some hair tools before I get into the tutorial. And if you guys want me to do a makeup tutorial on this look, just let me know, I will. So I've curled my hair a couple of different ways over the last few years. Mainly I have used this guy over here, and that is going to be my Dry Bar 1-inch. I don't remember the name of it. It's been great. It needs to be cleaned. It twists out so you can kind of roll out the curls with it, and I love this guy. But I will say, if I'm using it by hand, I had issues with the clamp kind of catching, and so one of the things that I do to kind of add volume to my short hair as I'm curling it is to flip the curls direction every other curl. So with this guy, one of the problems that I kind of had there was that I wasn't able to really work with it and not to get the clamp crease at the bottom. So it was a personal problem for me, but I still love it. It's really great for long hair and doing those kinds of curls. And the curls stay really well with this. I've really enjoyed this guy, and this guy is super long, so you have a lot to reach. And then what I'm going to use today is the T3, which is really hot. I just turned it on, and it's 1-inch, but it doesn't have a clamp, so we'll use my glove. I will say my hair is just pulled up right now. I'm gonna brush it out in a second. I do use a heat protector and a leave-in conditioner. Sometimes I will use a thickening spray if I blow dry my hair. I did not blow dry my hair yesterday, so I always use the leave-in conditioner when I brush it out when it's wet, and that has a heat protectant in it. I do that simply because then I don't have to worry about if I air dry it or blow dry it, because whenever I go to curl it, I still have that protector on it. But along with this wand, this comes the tapered one, and then the 1.5-inch curl. I'm going to do a full review on this wand next month and kind of walk you through it. But for my length of hair, I found that this guy gives me more corkscrew curls. So you can use this, and I might try to do this look with this at some point, but this might be a little bit bigger than you want for the curls. So yeah, I've had this wand for probably a month, maybe, if that. Not even, it's probably been a few weeks. And so yeah, so I have, you'll see, about medium length hair. I'm gonna brush it out really quickly so you guys can kind of see it. I did not blow dry it. I did not do anything to it other than let it air dry last night, and if I'm looking up, it's because I'm using the viewfinder to do this. So I just washed it, brushed it out. I put the pink in it a couple of days ago, and I need to actually redo the pink. So I normally do my hair in about 3 different sections. So I'll kind of divide the bottom out in the way that I want to do that. I don't feel like, as far as the bottom layer goes, I mean, if you've got short hair, you'll know what I'm saying, in that, like, it's hard to get it really curled at that layer. And I'm also gonna just clamp it up with the Dry Bar clips. I love these guys because they're flat, and so they just really clip onto everything super well. So I normally have about 2 of these guys floating around while I'm doing this. One, because I will section off the half so I can make sure that I'm getting the back ends right, and then one to kind of section that off. So we're gonna start with this guy. Now there's the tiny piece in the back because my hair really does come to about my shoulder length. I'm gonna put on my heat glove because I'm not coordinated enough to do this without it. And I'm going to kind of start the back of my hair Now I like to alternate the direction that I go with the curls, like I said, but I try, like I can't see what I'm doing right now, so this is gonna be interesting. I try to, you know, make sure that that my wand ends up in the middle of where I'm at. So I did this, I've actually filmed this tutorial once, and so what happened the first time I filmed this was that I put the wand a bit too high on the hair, and so all of the volume I was getting was at the top of my hair. So this guy's kind of, I mean, these pieces are short, so I'm not too concerned about it. But so I did that guy backwards, and now I'm gonna do this guy forwards. And I try to alternate which layer these pieces in the front are facing, like towards my face. So granted, I will tell you this and you'll hear me say it like 3 times during this routine. I will forget every time about halfway through which ones I've done and which ones I haven't done and which direction if I'm talking. So, but the bottom layer, I'm never really too concerned about. I just, if I can, especially this back piece, which is like incredibly small, is very hard to like get much curl to, because it's, you know, obviously it's not going to wrap really well around this thing. And I will switch, just for my own personal preference and how I do this, I will switch to the wand, or I will switch to the glove between hands as I'm going. So like I said, I just kind of hold it. I'm not really concerned about that back piece. It's gonna get covered. And curling my hair in this thing is actually a bit more challenging than I thought it would be. Not gonna lie, I can't really see curling in the viewfinder. So yeah. I will kind of run my wand up and down through it just to keep the curl a little bit looser, but that's just me. And then I kind of let it go. So you'll see, if you guys can see here, oh, I just kicked you, sorry. This may not be my best filming setup yet. It's a lot higher right now because of the way I'm doing it, so you still have quite a bit at the bottom that's hanging out. But this will be probably a bit easier to see in a minute when I am above on the layers. There's also the thing that changes with this. So this guy is super tight like that because it was very tight together and not all of it was flat when I curled it, and that's how it's going to come out, versus this guy over here that is a bit more flat at the top because it wasn't like twisted and then laying on there. So if that's a concern, just be conscious of how you're twisting your curls. I'll show you with this layer so you can see a little bit better what I'm talking about. And they definitely, I will say, it takes a lot of practice. I've been doing my curls pretty much the same for the last while, but using a curling wand has been a new challenge for me because I've never, you know, it's a different way to curl. I'm not, they tend to lay more flat whenever you're curling your hair with the curling iron because you're just kind of putting it in and then wrapping it around. But I'm not doing that. I'm kind of twisting it and maneuvering it all by hand, and so that changes it. And sorry guys, I was hoping the lighting would be okay by the time I sat down to film this, but it looks like we might have a lighting switch up as I go, so let's see. All right, so again, I'm gonna start from the back here. Put my glove back on. I'm not very good at grabbing my hair with my glove on, so you'll see me take the glove on and off like 5 times. Okay, so I'm gonna go backwards again first, and like if you can see it at the top, it's kind of laying flat on there, and then at the bottom, I've twisted it around a bit more. And again, I'm trying to focus on getting these curls in the middle because last time, if you put them too high up top, then you end up with a whole lot of straight hanging down at the bottom. So let me do a few more once I get to the front. I'll show you guys what I'm talking about again. So see, I'm starting about an inch down there. So yeah, I'm gonna lay it flat and then I'm gonna kind of twist it, and I'm honestly, so I've got about an inch at the top before I start, so I'm in the middle, and then I want to make sure that I probably got about an inch or more at the bottom. For the length of hair that I have, it works a lot better if I can kind of brace it in the middle and then I just kind of run through it. Now, how long you need to, like, how many times you need to go through it and how long you need to do the twisting is honestly going to depend on your hair and how well it holds a curl and, you know, how strong it is. I'd probably say, you know, 5 seconds is at least your start. I normally do it until my arm kind of hurts or it feels like it's good. I just kind of listen. And that piece is curled. Now, I try not to judge my hair before I finish it because I'm going to run my fingers through everything and that's going to change the way it all looks. So if the curls look funny, if things don't work out, I will say you can always kind of, sorry guys, lost my glove. You can always brush through it and kind of give it that like more subtle waved look. But yeah, also this is incredibly way more challenging than I thought it would be to do with not an actual mirror. This viewfinder is very, very small. It's kind of like looking at a screen that's smaller than your phone and doing your hair. One was just towards the back of my head, so this one will be towards the front of my head, and that just prevents all of the curls. So you lay the first flat and then you kind of twist it as you go around. That prevents all of the curls from just kind of blending in together, and so you get that extra bit of volume with the short hair. I will say normally when I do this, I don't necessarily love it in the first like 15 minutes it's done, because it'll go a little bit, I'm gonna put product in it, it'll go a little bit crazy, and then I really want it to just fall a bit. And depending on the day, I will either get 2 to 3, well 3 to 4 curls per side. Today looks like I'm doing 4. Sometimes I do 3. It just depends on the day and what I'm feeling. But I will say play with like where you put the curl, play with it, because that will depend on, like, you might want more, if your hair's shorter, you might want more volume at the top. I've done both. The first time I filmed this tutorial, I realized that I was doing them all towards the top. And like I said, see, that didn't take very long. I had them all towards the top and I actually really didn't like that. So I decided to refilm this. Alright, so this top piece, I change my part constantly. So if you see where it's pushing right now, that's kind of my natural part. I will go farther over if I'm in need of a haircut or color. And for right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and keep this side clamped up. And so this is the section where I'm really, I pay a lot closer attention, and I tend to have less going on in this one. This will probably be 3 rather than 4. And I want to keep this front piece going towards my face. So kind of divide it out that way. And these are my longest, or at least they feel like my longest pieces. I don't know if that's like the most accurate statement on the planet. But with that in mind, I know that like if I wanted to wrap this around, you know, however many times I could, I don't. So like I could probably get this around again, but I don't want to do that. So I'm just gonna kind of stick with my 2 wrap section. Obviously you could do this for a lot more wraps if that's what you wanted to do, and I kind of pull it out a little bit as I release it. And you can always go back in and kind of touch things up as you want to. But if you want that like kind of natural curl, I normally hit about the midsection and then just go up and down. It will get kind of caught down here on the wand, so just be aware of that when you're going to pull it off. And then which is why I try to stay towards the middle of it and then loosen it up, because if I go too far down then I end up getting it caught on the wand. So yeah, that's kind of the front piece with it. And I'll pull it out and shake it out in just a second. So let me finish this side. Now sometimes I will do for this side of my hair, if this part is more towards the left, then I will do this in 2 layers. But today I didn't do a deeper part, so I'm probably gonna stick with just the 1, but I'm probably gonna do 4 instead of 3, because I have more hair in this trunk than I do in that trunk. So but if my part is deeper and I have more hair on this side, then I will wholeheartedly make sure that I am yeah, switching this to 2 layers. So let me do this and I'll be with you in a second. So this is the piece where you can really see. So this just ends up being twisted more as like the bottom part's twisted more as a rope, and the top part I lay kind of flat on there. And sometimes I'll pull on the hair a little bit instead of just like moving it up and down. And so you get that like extra little twisty bit right there. And then yeah, last piece right here. And this is gonna go towards the front. Actually, hold up. I am trying to think about too many things at one time. Alright, so we have curls everywhere. You can see that everything's kind of in the middle of my hair, and that we have the few inches at the bottom. I'd love to say that I get these even every time. I don't. I'm gonna leave that on, set that right there. But what I now do is I let it cool. So I'm just gonna kind of let this chill out for maybe 5 minutes. I'll go and top up my coffee, get some water, take a sip of the coffee that I got chilling over here right now, and just let it hang out. Right now I'm gonna kind of take a second, let it cool off. I'm gonna pop over here to the mirror and check and make sure that I didn't miss any pieces, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so it's been a few minutes. My hair's kind of cooled. I did notice I missed a piece in the back, and I will say, so this piece right here was accidental, but if you see how high, like I curled it too high. So that's what I was meaning about. That's where if I curled all of the pieces in my hair at this spot, that's really where the volume would fall, and that's not necessarily where I want it to be. I feel like with my face shape, everything looks a lot slimmer if it's all right about this place. So I just kind of run my fingers through it, and sometimes I will take I have a few products that I will use with this, and one of them, the first one that I'm going to pop on, is the Wave Spray. So you have to, the misters on this is really fine, but because it is that jelly, like, you kind of need to make sure that you get a good distance when you are misting it. So I normally will flip my hair over and try to, I don't try to go too crazy with it, but I will do this and then just kind of revamp my curls with it. I will say I curled my hair almost exactly like this a few weekends ago for trip I went on. And so, but my hair stayed all weekend. So we have the curls, and this will fall. If I need it, it depends on the day, I will pop in a little frizz dismiss. You can do this when you're drying. If my ends are a little crazy, if I feel like it goes a little too much, I might pop this on. I don't think I'm going to today. I feel like everything's pretty chill and tame. So I will keep kind of running my hands through it. And it's definitely going to calm down, which is good because that's like, this isn't the level that I want, but it's got the definition that I want. I tend to try to wear my hair for a couple of days before I shower, or before I wash it, I should say. And so I try not to pump a lot of like powdery like texture sprays at the beginning, because I know I'll need those over the next few days. So day one is normally very calm. And then I use the Redken Windblown and just kind of set it. And this is a brand new can. It smells really good, but I shut my eyes when I'm doing this, so. It is their lightest hold. It's a 5, and they have like up to 20 maybe, I think. 28. So 1 to 5, and 6 to 15, and 16 to 28, and this is in the 1 to 5 range. So yeah, I pop it in, and then I kind of, like I said, I will keep, everything is a very light hold. So I'm going to kind of run my fingers through it and volumize it. And actually, hold on just a second, guys. A lot closer now. Okay, sorry guys. So my camera battery died, and I probably would have been more beneficial to shoot it at this angle. But this gives you kind of the close-up of everything. So you can see all of the curls are about midway, and everything's pretty separated. There's a good amount of texture going on. And yeah, this is my go-to kind of curl. I will say, for me, I struggle with remembering to curl it more down in the middle. And I like it better. I just don't always think about it. And so if you're having issues with getting this look and you're curling it, make sure that you pull the curl a little bit more in the middle of your hair versus up here. But if you need that extra volume, then obviously you can go for the top. I will say I can struggle with volume, and the Kristen S texturizing or texture spray is one of my favorite things to do. That she's also got like a root volume booster. Elena's tried that and she really likes it as well. But yeah, this is how I curl my short hair. I hope this kind of gives you guys a little bit of inspiration, helps you kind of figure it out. Obviously not all my curls are the same. They change a little bit, and I definitely try to stick to lesser products at the beginning, and then I will build up, because I can only add more and I can't take any of them out. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me, guys, and I will see you all in tomorrow's video.